Good evening, my brothers and sisters. So this is part 14. Who am I? So we left off to where I was just like trying to let everybody identify with the damage. Like, you know, I kept changing seats on the Titanic, kept chasing people, places, and things, all kinds of drugs, and all kinds of bad behaviors and bad decisions. You know, eight years old is when I started using drugs, and from there to 54 years old, I only had a little spin in between there, about 8 years almost, where I didn't do none of that. But besides that, the only time I had any kind of time of clarity, I call it. But if you don't use that time wisely, you don't learn nothing from it. But so the time to span, I had 8 years clean, but there's a couple of spans where I did prison time, a lot of jail time, a lot of institutions, a lot of all kinds of different stuff. But none of these were used for a good tool. I always use them as just rest up time to get ready for the next one. I don't know if that sounds familiar to some people, but anyways, so like I said, at this point, I had been in closet case my whole life, under the dirty clothes, butt naked with a butcher knife, paranoid that somebody's coming to get me, to going into this club scene, and it was just crazy. That's where I got my name, Chaos. And I was out, and it just was amazing, like, to me, man. Like, it sucked me in so much, man. Like, I loved it though, because people, it was a people thing, you know what I mean? And I like people. No matter what it was, healthy or unhealthy, I was always wanting to hang on to people because of the deaths earlier in my life, like I talked about. One of the things that the devil had used as a device to keep me prisoner in relationships and everything. Ain't nobody's fault, you know what I mean? The devil attacked me, and without a spiritual foundation laid on the rock, which is Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, I'm going to fail every time. When I take the wheel, it's so true. Jesus, take the wheel. I want him to have the wheel of the car. I'll ride in the trunk, man. I don't care. And that's not being paranoid. That's just being real. You know what I mean? Whenever I take the wheel, I wreck it. So I ain't even trying to take the wheel today. Now, if he lets me get my license back, it's coming about, and everything, and driving, that's a different story. I'm not trying to say it like that. But I'm saying, in a spiritual sense, in a evil realm that we live in right now, they say a king living in a cursed dimension, or time or place or whatever, and that's so true. You know what I mean? We're all kings and queens. God has already crowned us if we just accept him into our life and follow him with all of us, not half of us, not 3/4 of us, all of us. It might sound like somebody can't do that, but when you come from where I came from and where he brought me, and in that moment of clarity, I actually had clarity, like it was like a spiritual clarity that said, man, I am just not willing to compromise anything. And how can I compromise? How do I not compromise my spiritual path following God? Well, I have to arrest the flesh. Now, it's easier said than done if you don't believe in God, especially if you don't believe in God. But when you make the commitment with him, and you lay it out in yourself that, look, no matter what, I'm not going to follow man, money, property, prestige, people, places, and things, or women. I'm giving it all up. And let me tell you something. Because all those things kept me so immature. And mostly because my spirit was not growing, so my maturity didn't grow. And, until we really become a man and we learn, and I'm just now becoming a man. I'm totally still got a long ways to go. I'm not better than anybody. I'm just trying to identify that, without God in my life, I wouldn't have this amazing change in my life. I'm going to go and make another one because this is getting close to the time. But there's a difference between when we're just immature, and we're just infants, and we're just feeding on whatever's going to get us by. It is so dangerous, because then when the big stuff comes up and we don't know how to accept it, we take it on ourselves like we have any control over anything in our life. We're fooling ourselves. With that being said, I'm going to make another one and keep going, and we're just going to keep doing this. I love y'all with all my heart, and I hope that some of this makes some sense to somebody out there. If I touch one person, then I've done my job. All the platforms I have is not about making money. If I make some money, it's because so I can give it back. It's not about no more than just me carrying the message of hope and a promise that God had already told us we have already won. We just got to get on the winning side. And in order to do that, the only way to do that is to arrest the flesh. and I'll get back to you on that in just a minute. God bless y'all.